He provided fresh drinking water to over 1,000 villages. The poorest of the poor, the forgotten millions, now know that he is there to care for them. He built temples of healing, bringing modern medicine to those who needed it most. He built schools. He built universities. He built character in generations of young men and women. He is Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. His life is his message, and his message is love. Sathya Sai Baba says, "I have come to achieve the supreme task of uniting mankind as one family through the bond of brotherhood, affirming and illuminating the reality of each being." Water. In many arid areas of the world, the poor have no access to fresh drinking water. Villagers often use the same water for drinking, watering their cattle, bathing, and washing their clothes. The lack of clean water, polluted by high fluoride content, makes life unbearable. Its effect can be devastating. In early 1995, Sathya Sai Baba launched the first phase of a massive project to provide safe drinking water to over 1,000 villages, covering a population of nearly 2 million. The project involved massive excavations and extensive pipe laying, covering over 20,000 square kilometers. 15,000 people came together to construct the single largest social benefit project of its kind undertaken anywhere in the world by a private organization. Inspired by Sathya Sai Baba's vision, bureaucratic delays disappeared, and the entire project was completed in the unprecedented time of 18 months. The Sri Sathya Sai drinking water project cost nearly $70 million. These funds were raised without any solicitation whatsoever. Through a complex web of overhead storage reservoirs, booster stations, ground-level reservoirs, and summer storage tanks, fresh water reached tens of thousands of newly constructed outlets in the villages. People who once walked miles for contaminated water now had safe drinking water in abundance throughout the year at their doorstep. Sathya Sai Baba says, "Whenever you see a sick person, a dispirited, disconsolate, diseased person, there is your field of service. Every blood cell, every nerve must tingle with love, with eagerness to share that love with the forlorn." Mahatma Gandhi said that India lives in her villages. Villages that are often no more than a cluster of dilapidated huts, in which are huddled people, many of whom exist not by eating food, but on sheer hope. Hope that someone will care for them. In October of 2000, Sathya Sai Baba inspired his students to bring this hope in the form of food, clothing, and love to these forgotten masses. 300 tons of food was prepared. During a 2-week period, students and volunteers worked around the clock, producing over 500,000 servings. Every morning, groups of students set out in a convoy of trucks to the surrounding villages. These students would experience firsthand the difficult living conditions in these villages, developing a deep compassion for the less fortunate. For many, it was their first experience with rural India. Throughout the day, they went door to door, to each house, in every village, no matter how remote, taking care not to neglect a single soul. The students touched thousands of hearts in 1,000 different ways, including their own.